This is an order that feels like logical to me, but don't feel married to it, right? So you're going to start with the orange ball. You'll be on your back, and you might just do it on the right side first. Why not? Just get it in there and do some different movements, put it in different places. If you find one spot that feels really juicy, just stay there and breathe. So you're going to do that first on the right, then the left. After you do that, you're in the perfect moment to work with your breath, with the tucking and tilting. Right? So just go, you have this beautiful way of working with this. Just work with that for a little bit. After you've worked with that for a little bit, then do these variations on the flossing for the sciatic nerve. Remember, you have a hip and you have a knee and you have an ankle. So do the right leg first, but you might start out with just knee to chest. Just these, gentle pumping. Then you can go, okay, I want to start doing some knee extension, so I'm going to release the hip a little bit and start working with the knee. And then you want to add the ankle, so you might even release more and add the ankle. Right? Eventually, it can be pretty fluid, like, but you might kind of break it down at first and think hip, knee, and ankle. And then remember, there's all kinds of variations on how the hip moves. So you might do some of them with the knee in a little bit and some with the knee out a little bit. And the foot also can be turned in or the foot can be turned out, right? So just variations. Get it going on the right side, then more cautiously on the left. Never creating, any kind of sharp pain back here, but maybe there'll be a little bit of sensation here, but you don't hold it because you come out of the move frequently, right? You're flossing. After you floss that way, then you might want to work with your strength a little bit. You could start on the right side, but I want to face you here. Clamshell is, you've been working with a variation on this. You might take your hand and put it right on your glute. Keep your heels together. Take a deep breath in on the exhale. Harness here, and then lift the knee up. And then lower it slowly. So it's exhale, harness, heels stay together, lift, and come back down. Clamshell. Then take that soft ball again and work in front, right? You can work all the way from your diaphragm all the way down inside the hip. You can do the right side and the left side. Of course, the left side is going to want you more. Just, you cannot do this too much. This is going to feel just really juicy, warm, and good. So once you're here, you can do some rocking. You can, move around like this. You can do whatever you want, but see if you can do some release work in the core. And then after you've done that, you can come over and do some of these single bugs. So now you're really ready. Here we go. Exhale, harness. Right side first, that's your teacher. And then exhale and harness. Then the left. Right? Then you might come back over for a moment and do, okay, I'm going to do a little flossing of that femoral nerve, just like you've been doing it, this way and this way. Maybe a little Spanx, just feeling into that, what's possible for me here. And then go ahead and come up from here to hands and knees. Once you're on hands and knees, a couple choices of things you can work with, but quadruped is so useful, right? You can have your wrists right under your shoulders and your knees right under your hips and just work on harnessing in order to de-weight. I love using the spider fingers, right? Harness and de-weight. If you're starting to feel stronger, you can harness and de-weight this way, right? So you can play around with that. The other thing you can play with here is moving those hands, one paw print in front. This would be an inhale as you shift your hips back, and then an exhale is modified plank. Inhaling back, modified plank. And then you've already played around with plenty of things in standing, just whatever you want to do to get those arms in motion and get some things moving. But we also played with, if you remember, plank at the wall. So you can just find that place of being at the wall. And if you want to release the elbows a little bit, remember they don't go out, they come this way. You can get a little bit of more arm motion going there. I think that's what we did today.